Who won't like to make money while they are sitting on a beach, traveling the world and still making money? Well, if you want that kind of a lifestyle, you have to build passive streams of income that will pay you over and over again without you being present or without you putting in any effort. So in this video, we'll be covering exactly that. Hey guys, this is Taresh and this channel is all about personal finance, entrepreneurship, investing and helping you achieve your financial freedom. If you don't find ways to make money while you sleep, you will have to work till you die. This is the quote that the rich people live by, and the rich know that in order to become wealthy, they will have to build passive streams of income that are not dependent on them being present or them putting in time and effort. So the rich invest in assets that will keep on making them money over and over again, but the broke people just have liabilities that give them a sense of becoming rich. Having a flashy car, having a house that you can't afford, expensive clothes, flashy lifestyle, the things you usually associate with the people who are rich. Well, those people are not rich, they are broke and they invest in only liabilities that just take money away from them and they don't have anything left to invest into assets that can pay them for years to come. Owning a Ferrari, having a mansion, those are for the ultra rich people. But if you want to become financially free, you need to invest into assets that can keep on paying you money over and over again passively. A few of the assets that will allow you to make money while you sleep. The first of them being investing into stocks. The second being investing into real estate, and the third being giving out loans to other people on interest so you can make the interest amount each and every month and you don't have to work for anything, you don't have to be present anywhere. So these are some of the assets that you can invest into to build long-term passive streams of income. And in this video, I will be talking about that how you can make money by investing into stocks. Well, there are two ways that you can make money by investing into stocks. The first of them being the stock appreciating over time. So let's say that you buy a McDonald's stock that is trading at $224 right now, and over the course of the next 5 years, it appreciates to $400. So you would have made money, but you won't be able to receive that money or realize that money until you sell that stock. Another way that you can make money over and over again by investing into stocks is receiving dividends, receiving a cut from the profits of that company on an yearly basis. So in this video, I will be talking about that how you can replace your current income by just passively earning money through dividend. There are three things that I will cover in this video. First, that which company is more likely to give a dividend. Second, how to calculate that how much dividend you will receive from any company and how much money you have to invest into that company to replace your income. And third, I will talk about some of the tips and tricks that I use in order to achieve my goals faster, and you can also implement all of these things. See, you need to understand that the dividend is just a part of profit that the company has decided to distribute if they have some cash left over at the end of the year. So if a company has cash left over at the end of the year, they can do a few things with that cash. First, they can either save it for some reserves or for some future emergencies. Second, they can reinvest it into their business so that the business can grow even further. Or third, they can just distribute that cash to its shareholders in form of dividend checks. So the more stable, mature, big companies will be more likely to have a huge cash reserve at the end of the year, and they will be much more likely to pay out dividends as compared to any startup or any tech company that will reinvest all of that money because they want to grow as fast as possible. So distributing dividends for any startup or any tech companies may hinder their growth, and also many startups may be cash flow negative for the first few years because they are looking to expand really fast. So the more mature, the more big companies will be much more likely to give you a dividend check. So these are some of the companies that hold records for not missing out on any dividend checks year after year. I'm not recommending any stocks. I'm just giving you an example. I'm just stating the facts. Bank of Montreal has not missed a dividend check for the past 190 years. This says something about the stability and the commitment of the company towards its shareholders. So you need to invest in big, mature and stable companies that have a proven track record of providing dividends year after year. If I just take an example, McDonald's is offering $5 right now per share as the dividend. So if you have one share of McDonald's, you will receive $5 in dividend. 100 shares, you will receive $500. And with 1000 shares of McDonald's, you will receive $5,000 as your dividend paycheck. So right now, if you want to make $5,000 passively year after year with the McDonald's stock, you would have to purchase 1000 shares of McDonald's, and at the current price that will cost you almost $224,000. But Taresh, I don't have that kind of cash just lying around to put in McDonald's and make money that way. What is the other option? Don't worry, I will show you some tips and tricks later in this video that will help you to achieve your goals much more faster. That will be a systematic plan on how you can replace your income with dividend. But before that, let me just show you that how you can calculate the dollar amount of the dividend that you will receive for any company. All you need to do is just search on Google for any company's share price. As you can see over here, there is a dividend yield percentage given over here. So just multiply that percentage amount with the current share price and you will land on a dollar figure that you will receive per share that you own of that particular company. For example, McDonald's provides a 2.3% dividend yield. So 2.3% multiplied by $224, that is the share price, it will give you the dollar number that you will receive for owning one share of McDonald's. So right now we can just say that you will receive $5 if you own one share of McDonald's. Now just taking McDonald's as an example, if your current income is $50,000 for the whole year, and if you want to replace that income, you will need $50,000 dividend paycheck year after year from McDonald's, and at the current rate you will need 10,000 shares of McDonald's in order to earn $50,000 for the whole year. Then in order to own 10,000 shares of McDonald's, you will need $2.2 million to be invested in McDonald's right now if you want to receive a dividend check for $50,000. Now the question is that how will you get to that point that you can replace your income? Because obviously we don't have $2 million just lying in our bank right now that we can replace our current income by just investing $2 million. But you need to remember that financial independence is a marathon and not a sprint. There are three factors to consider over here. First, how much income you are wanting to replace with the dividend check. Second, how much time are you willing to give until you retire and want to just live off of dividends. And third, how much can you invest? The first point is pretty obvious. Taking McDonald's as an example, if you want to earn $50,000 in the whole year, you will need to invest $2.2 million in McDonald's. If you want to earn $100,000 in dividend, you will have to invest $4.4 million in McDonald's. So the bigger dividend check you want, the more money you will have to invest into any stock. The second factor is the most important thing, and that is how much time are you willing to give your investments before you retire and before you just want to live off of dividends. So if you give your investments more time, you will be able to take more benefits of the compounding effect of dividends, and you will be able to reach your goal much more easily. Just as an example, 10 years ago, McDonald's share was trading at $80. So at that time, if you would have decided that I will buy 10 shares each and every month, that means $800 worth of investment each and every month. Right now, you would have 1,200 shares of McDonald's, and at the current price, you would be receiving $6,000 passively over and over again without you doing anything. And don't forget the appreciation you would have received on your invested amount. So right now, if you are in your 20s and want to retire in your 40s, you have 15-20 years to build your income, to build your wealth, to build your investment portfolio and reach that level. But obviously, if you're in your 40s and want to retire in the next 5 years, you won't be able to take as much advantage of the compounding effect, and you would have to invest much more. That brings me to my third point, that is how much can you invest? Because obviously, the bigger dividend you want, the more investments you will have to do. The amount you can invest is tied to two things. First, how much money you are making, and second, how much are you saving. So if you want to retire as soon as possible, you need to earn as much as possible, take up a second job, work more hours, and you also need to save as much as possible so that you can invest whatever amount is left, and you can invest as much as possible. So living just off dividends is much easier said than done, but don't worry. Financial independence, financial freedom is not a sprint, it is a marathon, and you need to give yourself time to build your wealth, to build your financial assets so that they can pay you over and over again in the long run. So that was basically it for today's video. Likes if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you loved it, and if you want to learn how you can save as much as possible, what are the tips and tricks that you can implement in your daily habits to save as much as possible, check out the video that is flashing on your screen right now, because I have explained in detail what are the psychological and daily habits you need to develop to save as much as possible, invest as much as possible, and reach your financial goals much more faster.